Hi guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kyra, and here on my channel we are all about real makeup for real life and real people. We're just here to have fun with our makeup and learn together along the way, so let's get started. Today's video is a monthly wrap-up video that I do every single month called Month in Review. If you're new to these videos on my channel, I talk about some top products, some bottom products, maybe a Shop My Stash standout or two, any channel announcements, and so on. So let's go ahead and start with the top products for the month. The first product for the top this month are the ColourPop Lux Lip Oils. Ooh, my goodness, I love these. I'm wearing this one today, which was from their Garden Variety collection. This is the shade Blossom Out, so I don't think it's necessarily available anymore, but they put these out all the time with different collections. And then this one is the shade First Date. This came from their romance collection that came out around the holidays. They are a lip oil, but they don't feel as oily as some other ones. Kind of a semi-fail for the month is this Noonie lip oil. It's the apple cocoa lip oil, and I got the coconut scent, I believe. Anyhow, this one just feels like oil, and it's such a thin oil that it almost feels kind of like a dry oil, which I really don't love. But these are a little bit more tenacious. They're not as thick as a lip gloss by any means, but they do hang around on the lips. This one has a very light peachy tint to it. This one has a very light sparkle to it. And you will be able to see here, maybe, allegedly, how much I have used of this one. I've used more than half of it since December when I got it for Christmas. These are just super duper comfortable. This is something really great that you could wear under a mask because none of them are very pigmented in terms of color. You probably can't even tell that I have this on today other than I have a lip liner on underneath. So I really recommend these. I think they're fun, but I also think they're really practical. I could happily trade these out for my daily lip balm and be totally okay with that. The next product is something I got for my birthday in January. It's the Flower Beauty Shimmer and Strobe Highlighting Palette. You get 3 shades in here. I'm wearing these 2 shades today, but I also have the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. These are such an interesting texture. They're super creamy, like super duper creamy, and I just think they're beautiful. Because of how creamy they are, they just glide on the skin. They don't accentuate any texture, which apparently I have because it's been showing up more and more lately. And I just love this. It's so beautiful. I just want to use it all the time. I think I might roll it into my Shop My Stash for March because I'm enjoying this, or you know, want to be able to enjoy this more. I snoozed on this for I don't know how long, but I finally bit the bullet when I made a purchase for my birthday, and I'm so glad that I did because I love these. I can wear all 3 shades. Like I said, I did mix these 2 today, but they're really, really pretty, and the formula is just exceptional, especially from the drugstore. Next, I want to talk about 2 single shadows from my custom palette for February that were real standouts for me. And the first one comes from Beauty Junkies, and it's the shade Dash of Curry. This is really similar to what I have in my crease and outer corner today, but it's not this shade, and I will swatch it for you. This is just such a pretty, like, warm terracotta shade. I love this shade. I wore this multiple times as a one shadow matte look with just like a little inner corner something in the month of February this month, and I just love it. It was so pretty. I don't know why I'm so obsessed with it, but the formula is outstanding, and I just like this. For me, for a one shadow look, this is just perfect. It's deep enough that it really shows up on the eyes, but it's not so dark that I look like I have, you know, super dark eyes or anything. I guess I'm not being very eloquent today, but I do really like this single matte shadow. And because I don't get too excited about matte shadows, I think that really says something. If you hear any rustling down below, Oliver is with me in the booty room today. And then the second shade that was a real standout for me in the month of February is a Sydney Grace single, and it is the shade Tiara. This is such a pretty shade. I really enjoyed using this in my 4 looks with my custom palette. It's kind of gray, it's kind of taupey, and the shimmer is like somewhere between silver and pink. I don't know, it's stunning, and I love this shade. And like I said, I really enjoyed using this in my 4 looks that I created with my custom palette in February, but I also really enjoyed this in my little custom palette that I created duping the Urban Decay Wild West Naked palette. So I'll link that video below in case you missed it, but I felt like this was a really nice dupe for Cowboy Rick. Okay, the last top for the month of February comes in right at the end here. Snuck herself in here. And I am wearing this palette on my eyes today, and that is the ColourPop Off Melrose palette. You would have seen by now that I did do a full face of ColourPop with my girl Angela, as well as a 3 looks, 1 palette with the palette, also in collaboration with Angela. So I'll have all of those videos linked down below for you in case you missed them. But this is the palette, and no, it is not like super mind-blowing in terms of a color story or anything, but this is a really good palette in my opinion. It has a beautiful pale gold, which is something that is a little bit elusive in my collection. It has this really pretty duochrome here, which I finally figured out today just works much better over a glitter primer. Again, we have one of those beautiful terracotta shades, and this is the terracotta shade that I'm wearing in the crease and outer corner. So, ooh, love this palette. So there are those 3 shades right there, but I just love this. This is going to be a really fun go-to color story and neutral palette, I think, for spring. And I love what it has to offer in here. You do have 2 of those sequin shades, which are the mattes that include glitter particles in them. This one has quite a bit. This is $10 latte, but this one up here called Boutique, I find that all the glitter falls off as soon as I tap my brush off before applying. So take that for what you will. I'll link, like I said, those videos below. I did give a little bit of a review at the end of the 3 looks video if you want to know more. But I'm really glad that I purchased this palette. For me, the pressed glitter is a throwaway shade because I'm not going to put it on my eyes. But I'm not at all mad about it because I love this palette. 10 out of 10 on the packaging. Loving it. Let's talk about 2 things that I am not loving this month. And one of them I would really love your help with if you have any experience with it. And that is the ColourPop Pretty Fresh foundation. I have mine in the shade Light 50W, and the shade is not an issue. And maybe the issue is that I just don't wear more full coverage foundations. I don't know what the problem is, to be exact. But what happens is that I put it on my skin and it looks like it just sits on top of my skin. I've tried it with a brush, I've tried it with a sponge, and I've tried it with my fingers. I liked it the best with my fingers, and then really pressed it into the skin with a sponge and absorbed some of the extra product. I'm curious if you have this, how you best like to apply it, and if so, also what your skin type is. I do have combo to oily skin, and you know, the fact that it was dewy at the end of the day was not an issue for me, but it just looked crap on my skin. It accentuates all of my texture that I really honestly didn't know that I had, and Not for sure how to make this work. I am going to put this in my Shop My Stash for March, spoiler alert, because I do want to work with this more and just see if I can figure it out. And then the other fail for the month, complete fail, comes from my monochromatic project pan, and I put in the Beauty Bakerie Cotton Candy Champagne Blushlighter palette. I love the look of this, right? These are beautiful. I got this recommendation from one of my favorite YouTubers, Emily Noel, and she absolutely loves this, and it looks stunning on her. But for whatever reason, by the time I build up enough pigment on my face for it to look blushy, and you know I like my blush, it looks terrible. Like, it looks like I took eyeshadow, like a shimmer eyeshadow or a metallic eyeshadow, and put it on as blush. I've tried all manner of brushes, soft ones, more scratchy ones, duo fiber, you name it. I've tried it with this palette. I've had it for well over a year, and I hate to say this, but she and I are parting ways. I think my bestie will like this because she likes a lighter blush and she loves a glowy blush. So Jess, this is coming your way. But unfortunately, I just cannot make it work for me. And so I'm going to let it go. Like, there's no reason, even though I paid a nice chunk of change for it, there's no reason to keep it in my collection if it's not working for me, because I have plenty of blush and face palettes that work for me just fine. It hurts though, I will say that. And then for a Shop My Stash standout for the month, it was the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Creamy Concealer. I have mine in the shade Light 60 Neutral, and this is a really good shade for me. This is the concealer I'm wearing today, and I just really enjoy this. It's hydrating. It is definitely creamy. I think it blends out beautifully. It has good coverage, even though I only use a tiny bit. I put a little dot on the inner corner and then a couple little swipes out here where I have some darkness, and it's stunning, and I just love this. I find that it works for me no matter how I apply it, whether it be finger, brush, sponge. It always looks good on my under eyes, and it is so stinking cheap. I'm just thrilled that this has become a favorite this month. So that was definitely a standout in my Shop My Stash this month. The other concealer I had in, which was the number 7 Lift and Illuminate concealer, I also really love, but I already knew that. This is a new love for me, and I'm excited. All right, so let's talk a couple channel announcements. And the first one is, we hit 1,000 subscribers. I can't sing. We know this. Yes, we did hit 1,000 subscribers. Thank you to you all. It feels like it's been a long time coming, but I also know in my heart that I'm more prepared now more than ever to carry on with this journey, and I know now more than I would have if I had hit that 1,000 subscribers in the first year. I've learned so much over the last 3 years, and I'm curious, I don't know how many of you that watch my channel are actually creators yourself, or if you're not a creator, if it matters to you, but I'm curious if you would like a video about my journey to 1,000 subscribers and just some thoughts, feelings, things like that. Let me know down in the description box if you would like a video like that. Otherwise, I'll totally skip it. I did mention in another video, but I'll also mention it here. I would like to wait until I have a little bit of a cushion, a little bit over 1,000 subscribers, before I make it official here on YouTube by doing a giveaway. So just stay tuned for that. I don't want you to think that I'm not going to do a giveaway, because I am. I've said all along that I was going to, and I'm still deciding exactly what that will be. It's not going to be a massive giveaway. I just don't really believe in that, if I'm being honest. But I do want to give back to at least one of you and just celebrate this success with you guys. So that is not going anywhere. I just wanted to let you know it's just going to be a little bit. I want a little bit of a cushion. Numbers can really fluctuate here on YouTube, and I don't want to do like 1,000 subscriber giveaway or video or anything and then go under 1,000 subscribers, you know, with some sort of algorithm change or what have you. So the second thing I wanted to mention is that we will have a custom palette for March, but we won't have it until the second week of March, and that is because I'm going to do a when in doubt, dupe it out that week, and the palette that I create with singles to dupe that palette that week is going to be my custom palette for February. So just so you know, I'm not skipping that this month. It's just coming a little later because of wanting to really put to use this color story that I'm going to attempt to dupe and see if it's, you know, something that really does excite me. And lastly, one thing that I have been doing for, I don't know, last couple of months, maybe more, maybe less, is letting you know any items that I've added to my wish list during the month. And so in February, I added 2 products to my wish list for the first quarter. The first one is the Fenty Beauty Sun Stalker Instant Warmth Bronzer. That's the powdered bronzer from Fenty Beauty. And I always kind of wanted this one, and then I got the cream bronzer, which I've been using a lot lately. It's in my Partners in Cream project pan. It's something I always kind of wanted, and then I got the cream one, and I was like, I really don't need the powder version. I continue to see people talk about how much they love that bronzer. It comes up constantly in like old product videos. And also I see a ton of people have a ton of pan in this product, which leads me to believe they really like it. So I did add that to my wish list this month, and I think I would probably get the lightest shade in the Sun, unless you have a better recommendation for me, but I typically wear the lightest shade in most bronzers these days. And then the second thing I added to my wish list this month is the Persona Cosmetics lip liners, and I picked 2 shades, Dusk and Almond, and I like lip liners. And here's the thing, I'm getting kind of close to finishing up a couple of lip liners, so you know, plus I just love Persona Cosmetics. I want to continue to try more from them. So those are the 2 things that I added to my wish list this month. We'll see if they continue to stay on the wish list. I plan to do a video at the end of the first quarter where I go back and look at all the things that I added to my wish list, as well as things that were crossed off, either because I purchased them, I was gifted them, or if they're still there. So that's a wrap. That was my month in review. So yeah, February was a good month for me. I'm looking forward to March. We're getting ever closer to spring, and my body really appreciates that. So with all that said, I hope you guys had a good February as well. I hope you are staying safe, and I hope you're staying healthy. And let me know down below one standout product, good, bad, or otherwise, from your February. And thank you so much for spending part of your day with me here today. I always appreciate your time, and each and every one of you, and I hope all of your makeup days are absolutely beautiful 1,000 subscriber makeup days. Was that weird? Okay. I'll see you in my next video real soon.